Let's take a look at the control rig we'll work with. The scene is 0 to begin. What we have here is the DT Puppet. I really enjoy using this rig because it's very flexible. Not only that, but has both IK and FK arms and legs. So that means we can use it for a wide range of performances. We can access our IK and FK switches from the center of gravity control. So you'll see that currently our arms are FK, our legs IK, but we can quickly go in and switch that if we'd like. So right now the right arm is IK and the right leg FK. So you'll see that when one system is accessible, the other is templated out. But we can still see the templated system just so we have an idea of where that pose is in case we animate between IK and FK. So I'll go ahead and zero out the FK leg. We'll most certainly want to work with IK for the legs to keep them planted. And then for our IK arm here, let's go ahead and switch that back to FK so we can animate arcs faster. That does not mean that arcs will come easy. They're easier than working with IK most certainly, but we'll still need to figure out a way to track our arcs and make sure they're solid so that the arm doesn't only move fluidly, but it also moves accurately. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch our right arm back to FK and the right leg back to IK. Beautiful. Now you can access this character from our asset library, so if you would like, you most certainly can use it from there. That's another way you can find this character. Now what I'd like to point out to you is rotate order. We need to make sure that for our rotational controls, the rotate order is pretty solid. That way we can avoid gimbal lock interpolations as much as possible. So as of right now, our character has an XYZ rotate order. That's the standard rotate order for all objects created in Maya. We can select the character's left shoulder and press Ctrl A to switch over to our attribute editor. From there, let's go to this first tab here, the transform node. And this will show us the rotate order of this object. So right now it's set to XYZ. So is this going to be the best? Well, let's take a look. If we were to go ahead and press the E key to grab our rotate manipulator, we can now hold down E in the left mouse button to switch to our gimbal mode. And this shows us the true orientation of our object here. So if we were to go ahead and pose the arm, rotating it over on the Y-axis, instantly we run into gimbal lock. We lose control in what would be our twist axis. So that's not good at all. What I like to do is work with an axis order of XZY. That way, when we go in and pose the arm, take a look. Now when we start to rotate in the Y-axis, we still have our twist axis. When we rotate down in the twist axis, everything is ideal. So it's very clean this way. Beautiful. So what I'll do is go ahead and head back over to the channel box and zero out the arm. Once we have decided on our rotate order, we can go ahead and apply this to all other rotational controls instantly by using a very basic mel command. So let's do this. Let's go in and select the rest of our controls that will rotate. So I'll go ahead and select the other two FK arm controls. We'll go to the right side and grab the shoulder, the forearm, and the wrist. Let's go ahead and select the character's head control, the neck control, the torso. We'll go ahead and grab the back control, the center of gravity, the hips, just about done. And now let's go ahead and grab the IK controls for the legs. If you wanted to, you can go in and grab the foot controls here, but they'll only have very basic rotations, so that's not critical for us to go in and change the axis order on those objects. But for everything else, again, that will rotate quite a bit, those controls should be changed. Alright, so with all of these selected, let's head over to our script editor. I'll go ahead and right click and choose Clear All. I'll hold down Control and scroll forward with the middle mouse button so we can zoom in into the text field here of the script editor. And let's go ahead and type in as follows. It's going to be xform followed by -ROO. This calls the rotate order. And now we need to decide on the rotate order to change for all selected objects. All right, so that's going to be XEY. You'll notice that once we run this, let's go ahead and press Control A and press Control Enter. That'll make sure that the code that we've just run will not be removed from the script editor. If we try to run this, just pressing Control Enter, you'll notice that it will still execute, but it will disappear on us. But what you'll see now is that all controls here now have the rotate order of XEY. So that will be more convenient for us. All right, great. Now the next thing we'll do is go to our character set, and we'll make sure that a key is set on frame 1 so we can start to work with auto key to save time posing our character. So let's go ahead and access the character set. We can go to the character menu, choose set current character set, and grab CS Guide. That's one way to do that. Or from the bottom right hand corner of Maya, we can access that same character set. Alright, but from there, let's go to frame 1 and we'll press the S key. Alright, so once all controls have been locked down, now when we go in and start to pose our character, that pose is going to be saved automatically. Great. Let's switch our rotate manipulator back to local mode so we can pose a bit faster. So we'll hold down the E key and the left mouse button and switch back to local mode. Note you could also access those same options from the rotate manipulator at your side toolbar. Just simply double click and you can get to those same settings. Alright, great. Now the last thing we'll take a look at is a way to mirror our IK controls that are oriented to the world. It's a pretty basic code, but it will help us save time posing our IK controls. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's head back to our script editor. We'll right click and choose Clear All. And now let's choose File, Load Script. And we'll navigate to our scripts directory and grab the Mirror Pose tool. Go ahead and open this up. So at the top, we have a description, what this is used for. So this is for our world objects that have translate and rotate channels. So an example would be IK arms and legs. And our instructions are as follows. We'd first select our source object and then the destination object, and then we go ahead and run this code. So what this does is it first finds our selection, and then we get the values of our source object. So that's what this first part of the code does. And that's all stored in this variable here. We use the getAttr command to find those values. And since we're working with values, we need to use float. And now we come to the last part of the code, which transfers the values that we find here over to our destination or target. So you can see that a few of these we need to use reciprocal values. So that would be the translate x-axis and our rotate y and z axes. All right, so just to kind of test this out, we can press Control A to highlight the code. And now we can go ahead and middle mouse button drag and add this to our shelf. Let's right click and choose Edit. So we can go ahead and grab our Shelves tab and rename this. So you can see that I've already added an abbreviation for this tool, MPT. We can add that as our icon label. For the tooltip, remember we first select source, then either target or destination, whichever you'd prefer. Okay, great. And then at the top here, we can always call this our mirror pose tool. All right, so let's go ahead and choose Save All Shelves. And let's test this out. If I were to go ahead and move the leg and rotate it over, if we wanted the same pose on the right side, if we wanted it to be mirrored, it'd be just a matter of going in and selecting the source and then shift selecting our target and using our tool. You can see instantly the pose has been mirrored. The limitations with this is that our character must be centered here. Again, this is only for world controls, and since that's the case for our IK legs, just want to make sure that this is used for things like run cycles or walk cycles, or if the character is just going to stay at the origin, this is going to be great to use for that. All right, but that's it for this lesson. So in the next lesson, we can start to animate our run cycle.